In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition. In the name of my ancestors, let me get rid of this here. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I am the gatekeeper or the host of this program, known here on the internet, wherever you may find me. I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am also your soul brother number 1 and your friend Taalik Ibn'rad. Well, this video, this meeting is not really spontaneous. I just decided I wanted to do a little something this Sunday afternoon and evening because I wanted to really remind us of a Google Hangout that I really would like for you to participate in. And that is 6 days from now, Saturday, I am going to celebrate, or we are going to celebrate here on this rostrum, what I call Soul Liberation Day. And I have the honor, and I just texted and not too long, contacted my soul sister, Rashida Strober, the original and world's original first dark-skinned activist. And she is to host this event for me. And I also invited as a special guest my brother, Tyrone Thompson from Talk Real Solutions, Blog Talk Radio. And of course, what is more important is that you come and join the conversation and comment after we speak, and we have a good time for a few hours. Your interaction, your being like a family here for me is more important than anything. It is an honor every time that you would allow me to come before you and say what I have to say. It is truly an honor. And I will always tell us what makes this so magnificent is not only because of myself. I am magnificent. But see, all of us here are magnificent. All of you who come under this rostrum, there has to be something special about you in order for you to come and sit and listen for a half hour or hour or whatever under this type of speech that you don't hear nowhere else on social media or anywhere. It is different. It is more creative. It is outside the box. And in the situation that we find ourselves in, soul brothers and sisters, we need that in order to change the condition, because clearly those things of which we have become loyal to, those things that we find popular, they are not working for us. And we need to get out of this. We don't need to continue to hand this from generation to generation when this condition, this horrific condition that we find ourselves in, this confused, delusional, insane, violent condition that we find ourselves in, we don't have to pass that down to our babies. We can stop everything right here if you want. I sometimes think that we really don't want to stop. we've become comfortable in oppression. So we want to talk about that a little bit and celebrate what I call Soul Liberation Day, hosted by Rashida Strober, special guest Tyrone Thompson of Real Talk Real well, tongue tie, Talk Real Solutions, Blog Talk Radio. And of course myself giving the keynote address, and my subject will be the liberation of the mind and the need for one identity for these of whom I call the people of soul, the descendants of slaves born in America. You need one identity. There are too many descriptions and labels that the so-called Negro, the African Americans, the whatever, is too much out here. In order for these people, this group of persons who have similar circumstance, if you wish to move forward, then you must move forward as one. If you can't move forward as one, then you will never get anywhere. And I don't have to debate that issue. It's clearly that's a fact. Our subject for these few minutes, and I don't want to speak too long, is why are so-called black folks, why are soul people, rainbow folks, that's us, black people, African Americans, see, we so confused, we have so many names we go by. It's something has to be done about that in order for you to move forward. But we have a behavior problem here. And that problem is there is no balance in our behaviors when it comes to trying to solve and deal with this condition that we find ourselves as descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin. My subject is, why are blacks always trying to impress white folks? Why? I don't get it. Well, let's talk about it. Again, there's no balance in our behavior. The so-called Negro, we are either too far to the left or we are too far to the right of this issue. Some of us, as many of you describe, you describe a behavior called Uncle Tom, Coon, whatever. That's far to one side. Then you have another extreme side. Black power, hate whitey, and all this other stuff that y'all talking about. That's an extreme to another side. There is no balance in your thinking. And when there is no balance in your thinking, when you have extremism going far left and extremism going too far to the right, there is no balance in thought. This causes a condition called insanity. And so you have people of the earth looking at us in this condition that we find ourselves in, and they view us as insane. This one side thinking so far to the left, another side thinking so far to the right. One side so filled with hatred toward Caucasian people, pink people, I say. Why is that? In reality, hatred. I understand your dislike. We come from the same place. I understand that the Caucasian people have done some horrific things to us. I understand this. So your hate is justified, really. However, at the same time, you're not living in the manner where that hate really you should have, because I'm very sure you go to bed every night. You don't worry about Caucasian people knocking your door down and shooting you in the face. Even though you have racial profiling and you drive your car and some cracker cop pull you over or whatever, and we get our people, we get shot down in the streets, and then we suffer all these injustices and whatever. I'm pretty sure you really don't worry about it. There was a time, not too long ago, they worried about it. For real. And they should have had the hate and felt the hate that you do, but they didn't. They tolerated what had happened or was going to happen to them, and just learn how to live in a violent society that hated their guts. You do that, you're comfortable in your oppression because you are not making any real effort, except you listen to DVDs and you go to debates and things that you keep talking about. Let's build a nation, let's build a nation. But you never talk about the nation of Liberia. Liberia is a nation that was founded by ex-slaves and free blacks. They are our ancestors. You don't have to go to Kemet. You don't have to be a Hebrew Israelite. You don't have to do none of that stuff. Our ancestors, their children are in Africa. You claim that's what you want to be. Go back to Africa. Go to Africa. And Africa, you obsessed with this African thing. Let's build our own nation. The nation has already been built. In fact, our ancestors, our people are now real Africans. They are on the continent, been there a long time. You don't talk about them at all, period. Why is that? Matter of fact, some of you make mockery of them. Oh, well, you know the white man did this. Whatever you do, the white man gonna do. You are using YouTube, the white man. You driving a car, the white man. Everything about you is the white man. What make you think that you're going to do better than what was done in Liberia? They had a civil war. You have a civil war right here. You can't even get on YouTube and disagree with somebody, and you want to shoot somebody in the face. You want to hate somebody because they disagree with what you're talking about. What you think going to happen in your own nation? Even people that agree on something don't always agree, and that can cause somebody to get killed. But you can do better than Liberia. If you're so great, you're so better than what they done in Liberia, and they are our ancestors. They are our real blood. Or did you take? Or did your DNA test tell you something different? Why don't you take your money? Why don't you take your time? You so smart. You have all the wisdom. Take it to your people, because they are our people for real. You want to unite with Africans. You want to unite with Ghana and Zimbabwe and the Congo, and there you are, your own real relative, right on the African continent, and you don't say a damn thing to them. Y'all so faking. See, I don't like that. I really don't. But you so Africanized, blackity black, black, black. And let's go back to your hate that you have for Caucasian people, the so-called hate. Because if I hate somebody that much, I don't want to be around them. And you are not going nowhere. You're living with them. You eat the food they produce. You watch the television shows. Drink the water they bring to your house through their pipes. But yet and still, you hate somebody. If you hate somebody like that, then why do you remain among them? You're not making no attempt except talk. We need to build. We need to build. You don't have to keep saying we need to build. Just do it. You're doing nothing except running your mouth. And that's all you will ever do, because it's easier said than done. If you study the history of Liberia, remember, these people were slaves. These people were free people, but they were under somebody else. They didn't know. They were put in a situation where they had to either sink or swim. And you want to make mockery of them, but they made it. They swam. They exist. You have nothing but talk. They are Africans, if that's what you want to be. You are not. You are still a Negro American, pretending to be Kemetic, pretending to be Hebrew Israelite. You are the great pretender. That's all you are a pretender. And you put on these costumes, you know, bow ties and all these other things that y'all like to wear, all these costumes like they do in Halloween, because you are not Batman, you're not Robin, you're not Wonder Woman. These are costumes. And you want to be a Muslim, you want to be Kemetic, you want to be Hebrew Israelite, you want to be all this other stuff that y'all have made up, and you put on your costume. Costume wearers. Halloween is 24 hours a day for you. And you go on YouTube and you go on Facebook and you keep talking about dead folks all the time. Oh, Malcolm X did this, Marcus, the Honorable Marcus Garvey and Dr. King, and you keep talking about dead folks all the time. Harriet Tubman said, if I freed 1,000 slaves, I could have freed 1,000 more if they were. And you ignore living people. This tells us a lot about your mentality. You appraise the dead, but give the living hell. You will worship those who really don't want nothing to do with you, and ignore your actual relatives that you don't know what could happen if you reached out and helped your people where you claim you want to be. You say you want to be an African, so you can go there to Liberia. That should be the first place you want to go. Your real relatives. But y'all so fake, and you feel delusions and fantasy. And you wonder why people laugh at us. You wonder why there is no progress. Confused. But see, I'm not angry. What do you expect from a slave? That's all you ever know. I don't care how much black power you say. I don't care how much Kemetic. I don't care how much Hebrew you think that you are, or Nuwabian and all this other stuff. When the bottom line is slave. And that's all you ever been. That's all you ever know. They cannot comprehend what I bring from this rostrum is because the mind has become free. I am no longer a slave to nothing. I'm not a slave to the teachings, because y'all love teaching. You will never see a bunch of books behind me. Y'all love books and DVDs. Books are written by men. Anything that a man writes has a potential to be fallible, has error and flaw. But y'all, what the scholars say, Dr. Henry Clark said, Dr. Ben said, Dr. Amos Wilson, the doctor say, and you all hooked up on that stuff. Where is it? Where has it done for you? Where is it getting you? Nowhere. It makes you feel good, though. Makes you feel smart. That's what it does. It makes you feel smart. And see, when you're a slave, you want to feel smart, because as a slave, you're nothing. So you want something to make you feel better about yourself. So you don't want to hear nobody tell you, well, you know, your history started with slavery. You don't want nobody to tell you that. That's the reality. That's what happened. That's how you was created. Slavery created the so-called Negro, the African Americans, the black race. Slavery done that. That's our beginning, whether you like it or not. You can dress it up in your costume. Now, so we have a behavior. You hate Caucasian people so much, but that hate, that energy that you get from the hate, is still not getting you nowhere. The ones who should have had that feeling of hate was the ones that was actually could not sleep at night because there was a great potential that their door could be knocked open and your husband killed and the wife raped, but they didn't have that type of hate. Here you are, you're so filled with hatred or whatever, and your hatred makes you where you become just like those of whom you dislike, which becomes another problem. Why you want to be like the one that you hate, but you have become just like the ones that you hate. They believe in white supremacy and you believe in black supremacy. You become just like them. And that's not a coincidence because them is all you know. And so if you destroy white supremacy, then you will have black supremacy. So that means white supremacy really never died. It never really was destroyed. The only thing white supremacy did was change color. That's all it done. Because you are just like your massa. Yeah, we want to talk about that. You're just like your massa. There are those, that's an example of some of us who go too far to one side. So filled with hatred, black power, you know, act just like Caucasian people do. If you take the black out of it and the African out of it, just put white on there, you can't tell the difference between white supremacy and black supremacy. Both are the same. The behavior and the mindset is the same. Oh, the melanin is so great and we genetically do this, and same type of talk, same kind of stuff that the racists talk. We are better than everybody. Oh no, the Chinese didn't do this. Oh no, the Japanese didn't do it. Oh, the Indians, it's all about black, black, black. Just like your slave master. It's all about European. It's all about Western civilization. It's all about them. You become just like them. Nobody cares about simply being a human being. Then we have those who go to another side and they kiss races in the backside. And I have been accused of that. Excuse me here. I've been accused of, can you believe it? All my life, even as a child, I've done something by myself to fight white supremacy. As a child, I didn't need a group. I took actions by myself and still continue to take actions by myself. I have no problem with that. There is no Caucasian person that's going to tell you that I like them. None. I've had a confrontation and interaction with them all my life. I was 7, 8 years old, and I would not stand up for the American flag once I found out what it represented by myself. Hundreds of people in my school, I'm the only one that would not pledge allegiance by myself. Wasn't scared. I'm not doing it. As a child, many of you are adults and you have not really done nothing against white supremacy. You never stood against white supremacy. If white supremacy give you a parking ticket, you're going to automatically pay the ticket. You're not going to fight white supremacy. You're going to pay your taxes. You're going to be a good Negro. But yet and still you want to talk about somebody is a coon and somebody is a shine, but you do nothing as a rebel against white supremacy. Who you think you're fooling? You're not fooling them and you're not fooling me. That's why many of them stay away from me, because I know that you're fake. Going to jail ain't pretty. These suckers will put you in jail, put you in prison. They will put a bullet in your head. They're not no joke, and you know it. That's why you won't mess with them. That's why the only thing that you would do is talk. Let's build a nation. You ain't gonna build nothing. You need to fix that old doghouse you got in the back. You can't even fix the doghouse that you got in your backyard, but you're gonna build a nation. You don't control your neighbor. You don't control the block on your neighborhood. You don't control your neighborhood. You ain't did nothing in your neighborhood. You ain't did nothing in your town. You've done nothing in your city. You've done nothing for your state, but you're gonna build a nation. How are you going to build a nation when you can't even control your neighborhood? You've built no town. You built no city. You control no state, but you're gonna build a nation. Get out. That's why they stay away from me, because I'm not going to let you talk stupid like that here. But with all that hate that you have, you would think that you can accomplish such. You should have all that energy. You don't fool me at all. And that's why they stay away from me. And that's good. You stay away from me because you're fake. The only thing that you can do coming here is bring your fakeness here. And some have come here. You ain't ready for this. I'm too real. What's that song by Earth, Wind, and Fire? What's that verse? I'm too real. I'm too real for you. So you have these persons who have another extreme, and they talk about, they trying to work the system and try to be nice and just live their life. And y'all call them coons. They want to vote. They voting, and some of them even married pink folks, and they just trying to live life. And you call them Uncle Toms and coons and whatever. There's a problem with that also. And the problem is, I don't care how many Caucasian people you marry. I don't care how many football contracts you got. You a big shot entertainer. I don't care who you are. Sooner or later, you're going to get, as they say, your wake-up call. There is a dislike for descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin. That's just the bottom line. We are not liked. They tolerate you because you have $1 million. They tolerate you because you sing and dance. They tolerate you, but you're still not liked. And when it gets to the point where they have to make a move on you, ask Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was America's beloved father. But then here comes some Caucasian women with some allegations. And look how quickly they turn on America's beloved father. Did they give him the benefit of a doubt? No, the only thing they saw is this Negro exploiting white women. That's the only thing on their mind. That's all they saw. How dare you? You take our women like that, and how? That's all on their mind. Now, for somebody like Bill Cosby, was this a wake-up call? No, he's still going to skin and grin. And all these always, no matter how we are treated, we still going to skin and grin in these people's face. And the reason for that is because we are victims of abuse. And we fear them. That's why you can't build a nation, because you fear what they're going to do. You fear the obstacles that they're going to put in your path. That's why you can't progress, because you actually fear them. You say you don't, but you don't fool me. I know better. I know you're scared. And believe me, there's nothing wrong with being scared of these people. These people have nuclear bombs. They might have your own cousin. They have your cousins and your uncles and aunts and mothers in the military. They give them the order. They will come and kill you if given the order. So you're dealing with an enemy. There should be no shame. Yeah, you should fear them. Don't sit around here and fake the funk. I ain't scared of no white man. You're a damn lie. Because if you wasn't afraid, your actions would show it. And there's nothing wrong with being afraid. I'm afraid of snakes, poison snakes. I'm afraid to get poisoned. I'm not going to lie about that. Matter of fact, I'm scared of rats. Not the fact that I know I could beat the hell out of a rat, but if that rat bites me and that rat so happens to have rabies, I got some problems on my hands. So there's a reason why you fear. It's natural to fear, because whatever it is, it's dangerous and it can hurt you or take your life. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, stop all this old stuff. Like, I only fear nothing but God. Hey, get out of here. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with fear. The problem is fear interrupts, and it causes an inappropriate reaction because we're not thinking due to fear. So we really don't know what to do. We act out of emotion rather than thinking about what it is that's causing us fear and how to deal with this in a proper manner. So I've been called a coon. Hey, you can call me you can call me Jay, you can call me Ray, maybe you want to call me May. You can call me what. Your childish name calling don't mean nothing to me, because you cannot prove I'm some coon or Uncle Tom or nothing. But I have been called that because I represent justice, and I don't care who you are. I'm going to give you justice. I'm going to give you justice, whether you're a Caucasian, whether you're a so-called black person or Indian or Chinese. I don't care. I'm going to, regardless whether you give me justice or not, because I'm not going to be like those of whom I complain about. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to allow you to tell lies on other people because you don't like them. Okay, Caucasian people done terrible things. We have that established. Also, on the other end, there are many examples where black folks, the Africans, have also done terrible things. I'm very sure right now to this day, people who are alive will tell you some of the horrific things black folks have done to them. So of course, the argument is, well, what white folks do things more, more evil or whatever. Let me tell you something. Whether you get shot and die by one bullet or you get shot 100 times, makes no difference, you're dead. That's the bottom line. You're dead. So perhaps Caucasian people like to shoot and waste bullets, 100 bullets. Pow, 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 pow. It only takes one bullet to kill you. They want to shoot you 100 times. And see, the reason why they shoot you 100 times is to put fear in other people, because the person that was shot is dead. But they want to shoot you 100 times and destroy your body to put fear in those who are looking. I don't want to be part of that. The person who is dead will never see their body all shot up. It's over. They want to put fear in you, and that's what it's all about. not only in America, but around the world, those who are in rulership, leadership positions, and even in religion, they use fear to control you. You better obey God. Why? Because you'll go to hell. Punishment. You'll burn forever. Fear. It's all about fear. Fear equates to control. And you don't understand how to control fear. So you just act out of emotion because you don't want to get hurt. I don't want to go to hell. You want to do what you want to do, but at the same time, you don't want the punishment. I don't want to get shot 100 times. Fear was used to control and keep those slaves in control. So I would take Kunta Kinte and I would whip him in front of everybody. This is what you get if you act like Kunta Kinte. And that's enough for many of you. If you act like Malcolm X, you see what happened? You want to get all high and mighty like Dr. King? All right. Keep the slaves, keep the victims in check by fear. I'm called a coon because I give people justice. I'm called a coon and Uncle Tom because I have questions and people don't like, they can't answer the questions. Like, say for instance, there are things that I say about Caucasian people, and I've heard things from Black scholarship conscious people or whatever. And for example, many of you talk about, you know, the white man is the devil. Okay. He's a devil by nature. That's what y'all say. Okay. The white man is a devil by nature. In order to prove that the white man is a devil by nature, you must observe the white man in his natural environment. That's the only way that you can really say that's their nature. But you have never seen a Caucasian person in their natural environment. What you have observed is a conditioning of the mind of the leadership. They are being taught to think and act a certain way. And that's not nature. That's being conditioned to behave and act in a certain manner. That's not nature. Just like a dog. And I might use dog for an example because folks like dogs. Some people believe that it's natural for dogs to bark, but it's not. That behavior of barking by dogs is something that was inbred in them by domestication. Dogs come from wolves, and wolves bark now and then. You never really hear wolves bark, but they do. It would be detrimental for an animal to bark the way dogs do, because in nature, you are drawing attention to yourself, and you might draw the wrong attention. Your best bet is to be quiet. But men domesticated dogs to be like burglar alarms, to let them know when danger is approaching or whatever, and whatever. But that's not natural for a dog to bark the way they do. But we think that it is because that's all we've seen from the dog. But we don't observe. But you have not observed. Dogs come from wolves, and you will not see this type of behavior in the wolf. It's domesticated behavior. So how can you say and be truthful, since y'all stand for the truth and you don't want to present a lie, but you don't mind lying on Caucasian people because the white man's the devil and he did the slavery thing and blah 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 blah. You should not want to or wish to promote lies regardless. They have enough stuff that's true that you can talk about. You don't have to add lies and things that just don't make no sense. Then, of course, they said that the nature of the black man is righteousness. I'm not even gonna go there. This is right, really, yeah. That's your nature, yeah. Again, the problem is if you want to talk about nature, then you need to observe that creature, that animal, that life in its natural environment prior to slavery, some kind of domestication. That's the only way that you can say that's animal's nature. But when you have domestication, slavery, things of this nature, religious beliefs involved, people are no longer in their natural state of mind. So you can't say that. Then we have those people that talk about all white people involved in slavery. That's not true either. In fact, it was a certain minority that actually participated in chattel slavery. Now, there are Europeans that benefited, but that was because slavery was legal and it was acceptable all over the earth, and slaves was viewed as property. So so slaves was no different than cotton or corn or rice or goats or nothing like that. And even your African folks was involved and they benefited from all this. That's a fact. King Noah would say. So, but all was not. A-L-L, you said all. That's not a true statement. And I have been waiting for 10 years for somebody to show me how all white people are devils and all white people was involved in the chattel slavery trade. I have yet to see nobody really show me this information, because if they do, I can accept being in error. I have not seen it. Now, I don't know how I got off of that, because that really wasn't my subject that I really wanted to touch on. But well, actually it was. It's a little bit. I want to talk about, again, from one extreme side to another. It was a brother, my brother Alquan. He was on my Google Hangout a week or so ago, I believe. It's been a week, 2 weeks, I guess, something like that now. And brother Alquan believes that it is education. Education is the key to the progress of the so-called Negro, the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin. The key is education. But see, I want to say to you, brother Alquan, and all of you who believe education is the key, is the solution, I want to remind us that we've had education coming straight from out of the Civil War. I want to remind you that the slaves coming straight up out of the Civil War, coming straight out of slavery, physical slavery, they progressed and began to build themselves education in whatever form that they could find. They built themselves to a point where they was actually progressing faster and doing better than the poor Caucasian people or the middle class Caucasian people. That's why those angry Southern crackers got angry, because here you have slaves, illiterate, they could not read and write or whatever. They found a way to actually progress faster than them, and they had to stop it. We were already, way back then, we was already involved in politics. We was already involved. We was getting our education. All this was already going on, brother Alquan. All of this was going on. Later on, you would have Black Wall Street. Right now, you have Scientists. We are scientists. We're lawyers. We're stockbrokers. Anything that you can imagine, we are already that. That's not the problem. Education is not the problem. Now, there's a vast shortage of African Americanist men who don't attend college or whatever. That's true. More sisters attend college or whatever. But a lot of brothers make moves in other ways. Some of them make moves in illegal ways. That's not the problem. Education is not the solution. It's not the problem. It's not going to solve this problem because we have the education, but the problem still exists. Because your problem is that you live in a nation that don't like you, and you don't want to accept that. I'm an American. This nation has been conditioned. They don't like you, but you want to be liked. You want to try to force yourself on a people that they don't like us. That's just the reality of it. We can't accept the fact we want to be part of something, and this is America. This is my country, just like it is anybody else. That's true. But let me give you a quick example. You and I are roommates. We pay $80 rent. Ooh, that's cheap rent, ain't it? I pay $40 rent. You pay $40 rent. But my roommate has the nerve to tell me when I can come in the house, when I can leave. My roommate controls the refrigerator, the cable. How? Okay, this is our apartment. I pay rent, but it's not equal. So you live in a society, you live in a nation. Yeah, America is your country or whatever. True. You don't make no laws. You don't control nothing. The same example, the example that I just gave of being a roommate. You're a roommate that pays equal rent, but you don't control nothing. So yes, it's my apartment. Somebody else is controlling everything. You live in America and don't control nothing. Caucasian people don't obey not one law that was designed or created by dark-skinned people. Not one. But you do every day. Traffic tickets, your taxes, civil rights, all created and designed by them that you have to obey. But this is your nation, but you don't control nothing. You don't even control the education. You don't control the education. You don't control the entertainment industry. You don't control the public works system. You don't control nothing. But you want to live this way. You want to try to force yourself, try to make somebody like you, and can't accept the fact it's like a girl. You chase a woman, and you want to get what you like her, but she don't like you. She don't like you. That's just the bottom line. You bring her flowers, you bring her candy, you pay her cell phone bill. She don't like you. She don't mind, yeah, pay my cell phone bill, but she still don't like you. This is the type of situation, this is the type of condition, this is where we find ourselves. No matter how many of them I don't care how many Caucasian men Serena Williams married. I don't care about how we try to blend in. This nation, the reality is you are not welcome. You are not liked. That's just the bottom line. You can pay their cell phone bill and you can tap dance and sing and dance for them. But when it's all said and done, still don't like you. Like the girl. You can take her to dinner. She still don't like you. Pay her cell phone bill. She don't like you. Open the door so she can get out the car. She still don't like you. This is the situation that you're in. Instead of finding somebody that will love you and treat you like a human being the way you need to be treated, you want to try to force yourself on somebody who may not only not like you, but actually hate your guts. I don't care how much education you get. and you base your thinking on the lifestyle that a slave master put on you. So you have Black Wall Street, and you have all your lawyers and educated people, but how do you live? You live trying to be like your master. You want a Mercedes Benz, you want a 7-bedroom house, you want to be like your master. Because if we wasn't living and trying to be like our master, all the money that the so-called Negro, the descendants of slaves born in America, all the things that we can get out of this economy, we could really help our people rise up real fast. But no, you want to try to be like the Joneses. You want to be like your master. So you want your Mercedes Benz, and you want your big house and a swimming pool in the backyard, and you want to show your master, see master, we the same. No, we're not the same, because master control everything. When master get ready to, master can take your Mercedes Benz, your houses, everything away from you. You know why? Because you didn't pay your taxes. Ask Red Fox. Ask Wesley Snipes. Ask I think they're getting ready to make a move on Mary J. Blige, I think I heard. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. You want to try to be like them. You should not want to be like them. You should want to be better than them and be not like them. You all messed up. And you want to compare us to other people. Well, the Chinese do it, and the Indians and the Africans do it. You cannot compare our situation with the Japanese, Asian people, or the Indians or Africans or anybody else that migrate to this country. You cannot compare our situation. This nation has always been against the so-called Negro. Jim Crow was not designed against Asians. There was no, excuse me, my telephone's out bothering me. It's talking. Every time I get a text, my telephone can talk. But Jim Crow, there is no Jim Crow against Asian people. There is no Jim Crow against Africans. There is no Jim Crow against nobody except us. There was no black code. There was no law. Laws was designed against us. There's no laws against them. Matter of fact, by the time they start coming here and get to going, we are the ones. They are taking advantage due to our fight, make it easier for them. And then they want to look at us and down us. And we are the reason why they can do what they do. Not only did you have Jim Crow, not only did you have the black codes, there were also, and I'm very sure it continues to this day, what about the laws and the policy that's not on pen and paper? There is no pen and paper. We know about racial profiling. Is it on pen and paper? Harass the Negro. It's understood that we do what we can to keep these people down. It's understood. Let a few of them rise. Let Serena Williams rise. Let Bill Cosby rise. Will Smith. Let a certain amount of them rise. So it don't look like we are against them, but we are. You can't compare our situation to others. They never had to deal and still don't have to deal with this crap that we do. When you talk about racial profiling, it's always us. What about these other folks here? It's always us. And of course, I believe that when it comes to racial profiling, I think that it also includes Mexicans and some other darker skinned persons also. but primarily it's us. So you have your education. Get all the education that you want to. I'm not telling us that there's something wrong with education. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying, that's not the solution. You are not using your education properly. Your mindset, you're trying to be like the people that hate you. You have the wrong mindset. Instead of, if you're not going to take over the apartment, then you need to get out. You're not going to be in an apartment with a person and you don't control nothing, but you pay equal rent. That's a roommate that you getting ready to, you got to leave. And we don't want to talk about that. We want to try to work things out. But if you had a roommate, you wouldn't be trying to work nothing out. You'd be like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna find my own apartment. I'm getting out of here. This ain't no. You wouldn't go for it. But with them, we gotta try to, we can work together. It's always some kind of excuse. Always some kind of reason to try to work it out with them. You cannot compare our situation with other folks. Then we have those that, I don't know what it is. You have dark-skinned people who actually believe, and they run around talking about black folks need to stop being victims. We don't have to be a victim. Pull up your bootstraps or whatever you say. Stop blaming the white man. That's so sickening to me. This mindset, this mentality comes from people who have been abused. People who are abused are always trying to find an excuse to justify what their abuser done to them. I'm not a victim. I should have. He wanted fried chicken and I baked it. I was looking out for his health. It's my fault. That's how y'all sound. It's my fault. You want to blame yourself because this person punched you in your damn face. And that's how you are with Caucasian people. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about the education. You want your education not to try to do something really for yourself. You want to impress the white people. Look how I'm not ghetto. I'm not a ratchet. But look at their society. Who taught you? Who taught us these behaviors? Was the slaves ratchets? Was the slaves wearing weave, blonde weave? All this stuff comes from once the slave come into their society and you got closer to your roommate, got closer to the one who oppressed you, and you began to take on their ways. Under Jim Crow, before integration, most dark-skinned people, we were influenced, of course, by the Bible. And a lot of this stuff you didn't see because since we was following the Bible, those Christian teachings, it was certain ways that we carried ourselves. But once Dr. King was successful with integration, integration was acceptable, and we began to get closer and closer to our oppressor and began to mimic their way of life, then we became like them. So when you say ratchet, you act like Caucasian people, they're not ratchet. But you will find Caucasian women wrestling around in mud. Here are two grown women. They'll get in a pool of mud and wrestle. And y'all think that's cute. But y'all talk about don't eat pork because the pigs, because pigs, you know, they waddle and pork. But you enjoy these women that get in some mud and they waddle around it. That's cool. You want to copy a lifestyle of your oppressor. You want to be like them. There's a problem. And you wonder why you can't progress. You can't progress because you're trying to be something that you're not. You're not like them and should not want to be like them. So if we are ratchets, who taught us to be ratchet? Who taught you how to use cocaine? Who taught you how to drink liquor? Who taught you how to steal? Who taught you how to shoot a gun? Who taught everything that you know? Who taught you that? But you don't want to blame them. You have to take certain responsibility. Who taught you all this stuff? I agree with you that you have to take responsibility for yourself. However, you have to look at this fact. I'm not trying to justify, make excuses for nobody, but I want to present to you and bring up a fact. You have a dog. We talked about a dog earlier. Dog is an ancestor. Ancestor of the dog is a wolf. You have a dog. And the dog comes from a wolf. The dog is a domesticated animal created by men. Everything that dog is because of what a man done to that dog. A dog was not born in your house. Dogs and wolves and other animals are supposed to be free. They are not supposed to be in your house, but they are in your house under the control of men. They are not taught by a wolf. They are not taught by a goat. They are not taught by nothing else except by men. So when that dog does something crazy, whatever that dog is doing, do you blame the dog or do you blame its massa? You must blame the massa. That's who is in control. That's who the dog was influenced by, created by. You have to blame the man. You cannot blame the dog. The dog was not taught by another dog. The dog was put in your house under your control, created by men. So it is the same with the so-called Negro. If the black woman is a ratchet, who taught her how to be that? Who taught her how to color her hair blonde? Not no Africans. The Chinese didn't teach her. Who's teaching her all this stuff? Color your hair blue and red and cuss. Who taught us to call women bitches and whores? Who taught us all this stuff? You don't want to say. Take responsibility for yourself. Who taught us that? You don't want to say. Because you don't blame the white man. Well, who the hell do you blame then? You want to blame the Mexicans? How can you blame the Mexicans? You can't. You want to blame the Chinese? You can't. You're going to blame yourself. How you going to blame yourself? You didn't create this stuff. You know where it come from. Let's go back to education. Who educated you? Who educated you and I? Going back to education. The education that Alquan said that we need. Whose education are we being taught by? Influenced by? The dog is a victim of man. Oh, don't be a victim. We want to be heroes. Run around here. Don't blame the white man. Don't play victimhood. Every day, in every state, every town around this nation, Caucasian people are playing victim. The court system is filled with people. I'm a victim. Either give me some money or send somebody to jail. I'm a victim. But here's the so-called Negro. Here y'all are, self-righteous and think that you're doing somebody a favor. You think you're doing yourself a favor. You think you are some kind of hero. I'm not a victim. I don't suffer from victimhood. But everybody in this nation plays victim. But you act like you can't be. You're not a victim. Do you know what a victim is? A victim is somebody who has been caused harm. That's what a victim is. The state of Israel and the Holocaust, that Holocaust, Jewish Holocaust stuff, been over for years. They still talk about we victims. You anti-Semitic. It's still people who don't like us. They still play the victim card. But here you are, suffering racial profiling. We are still discriminated against in employment and housing. But we don't want to play victim. Just toughen yourself up. Stupid. And so you want to let the abuser, you want to let the people who's doing the abuse off the hook. But that's how it is with people who are abused. You blame yourself. It's all my fault. I should have fried that chicken. He wanted baked chicken. I deserve to get punched in the face. That's your thinking. Victim of an abuser. There was just recently in my area, and I'm going to call this a day. Peace and respect you to Brother Leon Fletcher. How you doing? I'm glad you're here. I wonder where my other 9 subscribers is at. But yeah. Let me say this, and we're gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna come back later on and try to do a little something. And just recently in our area, the area where I live, a truck driver, we don't know what happened, but this truck smashed 8 cars and killed 3 people. So 3 people with no doubt are victims. But I want to say this. But see, when the truck driver killed these 3 people, there are more than just 3 victims. What if the victim had children? The children are victims. The mothers and the fathers and the cousins, everybody who loved them have become victimized by this tragedy. You don't have to actually be in the car accident to be a victim. I don't have to be an actual physical slave to be a victim. You don't have to be a slave to be a victim. Your ancestors, our ancestors were slaves. And that affects us to this day. We are victims. And the abuser and the ones who are behind the victimization, they set their courts up and their laws so that you can't get justice, so you can't be a victim. But they can go in court every day, and the families of those people who was killed in that truck accident, believe me, they're gonna play victim. They go into court. But here you are, that's all right. I can pay my own hospital bills. I would bury my own children. That's all right. I'm not a victim. Who do you know do that except the so-called Negro? Y'all so damn stupid and caught up. There's a reason why. Now, I don't go around calling white folks devils. And really, there's no such thing as a devil. That's some religious stuff. But you can't have the attribute of a devil, even though the devil is fictional. You can have the attributes. These people are liars and deceivers. They're not going to put you or want you in a position whereas you're going to make them accept responsibility for what they've done. Not for individuals, what this nation has done. We're not talking about your best friend Bob and his wife Carol. We're talking about what this nation done to us as a people. You are letting them get away with not accepting responsibility for what this government done. Jim Crow was law. There are people right now who suffered under Jim Crow right now. Well, if the slaves was actually here, you're a damn lie. You're a lie. There are people who suffer, who are alive right now that suffered under Jim Crow. You ain't gave them a dime. There are people who are alive right now that suffer under racial discrimination, racial profiling. There are people who are living right now, and you ain't trying to give them a damn dime. There are people who y'all sent to jail, prison for 40 years, and you won't give them a damn dime, and you know they're innocent. Get out of here with that damn lie. And you want to live around and love and be around people like this. A bunch of liars, deceivers, and manipulators. They are devils, but not the fictional devils. The attributes. They do have the attributes of being devils. There's no doubt about that. And you want to lay around here, and you hate yourself, you hate me, you don't like your brothers and sisters, well, we can get together and get the hell out of here. Once and for all. Deal with these people, deal with this situation once and for all. So my grand nieces and nephews, because I don't have any biological children, your children, our future generations don't have to deal with this mess. But you so off into this. I don't believe what you. Who cares about what you believe? You and I unite on what we can agree upon, and then we make moves upon what we agree upon, and we stick together. And if we die together. The same way that we can live together, we die together. You show our people. You show yourself. Be an adult. Stop being such a damn cowards and stupid. I'm not a victim. These so-called Negroes, the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, we have been victims going on 500 years. You're going to let these suckers get away with that. Believe me, if it was them, they would not let you get away with it. Look at these women, 40 years after the fact. Bill Cosby, he drugged me. And guess what? They victims. Guess what? If they can, they want some money from Bill Cosby. But here you are. I don't need reparations. I can lift myself up. It don't make no difference if you can lift yourself up and do your thing. It's about justice. It's about doing what's right. You live in a nation that is not right. They are not just. They are hate-filled. They hate our guts for whatever reason. And you're not going to live up to your potential living and being with these folks. You are so filled with dislike and hatred for another victim. And that's how victims do. See, I know about it. I was a victim of a bully. Now, I would not fight my bully. I was scared of my bully. But I would go home and fight my sisters with everything I got. Oh, you did this to me. Bah, 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 bah. But I would not put my hand on that bully who was really causing me serious harm. I love my sisters. I love my mother. I would talk back to my mother, but I would not talk back to the bully. When that bully told me to shut up, I shut the hell up. But when my mama told me to shut up, I still be trying to talk. See how sick we are? We are some really sick, dingbat folks. Because we have suffered from mental abuse. You want to be a hero. Protect these demons. And they laugh at you. They laugh at all of us. They just sit back and, because you're so confused, you're so messed up. A joke. Your YouTube videos ain't saying nothing. All thing you do is watch cable, and all these people with these stations, they watch the news that they did not create. They don't go out and get the news. They watch the white man's news. Then they comment on it. Then they talk about the white man. It's Then they want you to pay. They want you to pay them for making a comment on news they didn't even get because they made a comment on it. Donate to my Patreon account and all this crap. And y'all going for it. Silly slave. I'm happy. Let me tell you something. I am very happy with my 10 subscribers. I'm very happy because I am surrounded by people like Leon Fletcher that got some sense. I don't need to be around wackos, insane people. I'm not a victim. Get the hell out of here. You was a victim before you even came out of your mother's womb. Get the hell out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna come back though. I wanna do something entertaining for us later on, 5 hours or so from now. Because y'all like to be entertained. I'm not an entertainer. I'm trying to, believe me, I'm trying to do something here. It ain't about entertainment. But for you, it might be entertainment. I'm trying to do something. And I'm not going to say what it is, but I'll let you know when it get done. You'll see the results. I'm not an entertainer. But, you know, when you're at war, any tool that you have at your disposal, you use it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught his followers, when you are at war, even teach your infants, you know, to pick up a rock and throw it at the enemy, a pebble or whatever. Whatever you can get, you use it in that war, whatever it is. And so I'm at war, and I'm trying to do something here. You can be entertained, but believe me, for me, I'm not an entertainer. At one time, I was. At one time, I was an entertainer. I wanted to sing, I wanted to dance, and, you know, I wanted to be a sambo shuffling for the white man, you know, whoever paid me. I wanted to actually do that. But now all that's out of me, and I have something else up my sleeve. You can believe that. But with that said, I will see you later, and take a break. Let my throat rest a little bit, and come back and do a little something. And I hope y'all. I hope that. Oh, look at my brother King Noble. How you? Oh, wow. King Noble is the only brother. Well, yeah, I could say that he's the only brother. Black supremacy. He's the only brother that I could actually interact and talk to, and I can actually say things. We can have a conversation. I can disagree with him, and the brother don't get angry and mad and upset. We talked on, I think we talked on Skype, and we talked back and forth. Much respect to King Noble, Black supremacy. Much respect. Always love here. Always. All these old sissified people. King Noble challenges all these other idiots out here, and they run. They run. What you running from? They're running from the fact that this man is going to expose them for not being as intelligent as it looked like they are. These y'all listening to clowns. Yes, sir. You keep doing what you're doing also. Because this brother know that we surrounded by all these clowns. They clowns. They're not going to take you nowhere. They're not serious. Because when it's all said and done, if you have to, you might have to die for the cause, suffer for the cause. That's just the reality of a revolution. That's just the reality of liberation. These people are just not going to just let you go easy. You my nigga. Do you understand it? You my nigga. And they ain't gonna let you go easy. So I will shoot Dr. King in the damn neck. Yeah, I know the Muslims gonna kill Malcolm. I'll sit back and let them do my job for me. Stupid ass Muslims. Oh, wow. I want to thank y'all for listening. Thank you, brother King Noble. It's really an honor that you would come and you've been listening to what I have to say. And of course, brother Leon. Oh, man, I love y'all, man. There's a brother, hopefully, if I can get him on here, brother Son of Will. I met him. Just a coincidence. I just met him not long ago. He recognized me. I didn't know who the hell he was. And it's been years. But see, that just goes to show you about people's minds when they begin to let all this false fiction fantasy stuff, let it go. He still remember Angel Snuffed Up 7. Here I am, dressed up. My beard was all grayed up and ragged, and the brother still recognized who I was. I'm like, wow. We need to change this, man. The people need to have an alternative. I know Sonetta TV is big. I know about the Advice Show, Tommy Sotomayor. All these people are big, but I'm telling you. Thank you, Dwayne. Is it Dwayne number 3? Thank you, man. Thank you. I love y'all, man. I do. I love us. Now, you may not like what I have to say sometimes, disagree, whatever. But if you come to this rostrum, there's one thing you have to, you have to know. I love us because I love me. And I give credit where credit is due. It was because of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad when I was a little boy. He taught me how to love black. He taught me that. I had no choice because I grew up in an environment, even in my own house, that did not like black. Either I learned how to love black or bleach my skin or do something like some of these people doing nowadays. So I love myself. So I love Brother Leon and Brother King Noel and Dwayne. I love us. I love my sisters. I don't care what the sisters do. Color your hair yellow, red, white, and blue, whatever. I love us. I don't care. Thank you so much, Brother Dwayne. I love us, man. And I would do anything to work with any of these. I don't hate Sonetta. I don't hate Brother Farrakhan. I don't hate none. Where do people get this hate crap from? I don't hate nobody. The only thing I'm doing is making an observation of your theology, your ideology, or whatever. But we don't have to concentrate on that. What can we do to connect? What do we have in common that we can connect on? That we all can agree upon? And let's go forward. But see, this is the reality though. The reality is many of these people are not interested in you like that. They want you as a slave. Come follow me. That's what they want. I'm God. That's what they want. They want you as a slave. You are my brother. You are my sister. I don't want you. Whatever you feel comfortable, live your life and be happy to the best of your ability. I'm not. I don't care if you eat pork. I don't care if you go to McDonald's. I don't care if you're a vegan. I don't care about stuff like that. I just want you to be damn happy. Us to get up out of this situation once and for all. And then we can talk about how we live our lives later when you get free. How the hell a slave gonna tell another slave how to live? That's what gets me. You are a damn slave just like I am. You gonna tell me don't eat no damn pork. Get the hell out of here. You a slave just like me. Get free. Liberate yourself. That's the important thing. That's what we need to do. Get away. Either you whoop the hell and take over this nation, or you get the hell out of it. Because as long as you stay in it, you cannot reach your greatest potential. These people are hindering your progress. They are making you go backwards. That's why you have ratchets. That's why you have thugs. They're making you go backwards. Because you're living here with these bastards. They don't care about, they're not looking out for your best interest. Either you whoop their ass or get the hell out of their house. It's simple as that. But many of these people are comfortable. They are comfortable with their Mercedes-Benz, 7-bedroom houses and stuff like that. That stuff don't impress me. I don't care about that. I can be happy with my soul sister Terry Ellis, because y'all know I'm crazy about this sister from Invo. I could be with her. Give me a pond with some fish in it, an apple tree, and whatever. I'm cool. I don't need diamonds. I don't need gold. I don't need swimming pool. I don't need all that bull crap. You trying to copy and be like Massa. I don't give a damn. And believe me, the way Massa is living right now, he's not going to be living that way too much longer, because his lifestyle is based on something that is dwindling. He's not going to be able to do it. So you following behind him, y'all got a rude awakening. This life that we live right now is really recent. It hasn't been in existence that long. It came into existence due to the discovery of oil. And the oil is running out. So what you gonna do? We need to go back to nature. There's a brother called Nature Boy. I don't know too much about Nature Boy, but see, that's the key. Got to go back to nature. You have to go back and put yourself in balance with this planet. Yeah, that's right, brother Dwayne. You don't want to farm. Man, see, I grew up in an environment, we grew our own food. I remember you could put a seed of corn in the ground, and I would watch it little by little. It come up out of the ground. Next thing I know, it was this big thing, and you harvest your corn. We had pigs and chickens. Every day I woke up with cock-a-doodle-doo, the chickens, and I could see the squirrels going up and down the tree and the deer running around. Man, see, many of our people have never experienced life. They never seen life. They never seen tomatoes grow from a seed to a tomato plant. They never seen these things. Frogs jumping in the pond. Yes, sir. See, that's right. That's a beautiful thing. They never seen, Brother Dwayne, they never seen life. And I call us the people of soul, the people of life. But you need to get our soul back. We need to be raised from the dead. And that's the purpose of this ministry, is to raise us from the dead, bring us back to nature. And I want to talk a little about that Saturday when we come back together on this forum, Soul Liberation Day. And I hope, Brother King Noah, I hope that you join us. In fact, Brother King Noah, if you want to say something, please, brother, let me know. I want you to say something, brother. 10, 15 minutes or whatever. It would be an honor. Come and say something on that day, Saturday, at 2 p.m. Eastern, hosted by the original first dark-skinned activist, my sister, Rashida Strober, special guest, Brother Tyrone Thompson of Talk Real Solutions Radio, and hopefully I can also get my brother here, King Noah, to come and say some things to us. And we want to talk about the liberation of the mind, that inner strength that we have, and the need for that one identity that can bring us all together under one umbrella. Because when we do that, we are on our way, and nothing can stop us. The only thing stopping us now is ourselves. With that said, I'm Audi 5000. Like I said, I'll be back later on, 6 p.m., I guess, Central Time, and entertain us a little bit. And until then, I'll see us after that. After today, I probably won't see you till Saturday, Soul Liberation Day. With that said, thank you everybody for listening and participating in the chat room. I do love us. I love and honor all of you, and it's truly been an honor. See you in 4 hours, I guess. Like Doc Cornelius always used to tell us, in parting, I wish us love, peace, and soul.